and learn how they're helping those with muscular dystrophy. And we've got all the info on the 2017 Emmys and find out who's expected to win big. Get those stories and more starting right now. Good evening and thanks for joining us on 13 News at 10. I'm Erica Hall. With storms rolling in right now, let's head over to Peyton Sanders in the Weather Center. What's it looking like out there right now, Peyton?
Hi, Erica. Yes, we are tracking some scattered showers and thunderstorms that have been rapidly developing over the course of the past hour. Here's Capitol Federal Live Storm Tracker right now. The strongest storms that we have are over the eastern sections of Morris County, getting ready to move into the northern sections of Lyon County. Taking a little bit closer look at that thunderstorm right now that I'm talking about. Moving just east of Council Grove, this storm could be producing some nickel-sized hail now and maybe some wind gusts up near 40 or maybe even 50 miles per hour. So as that storm pushes through the northern sections of rural sections of northern Lyon County, looking for the possibility there for some hail and wind, but below severe limits at this point. More storms up near Concordia, also into Clay County. These storms not quite as strong, but they could still be producing some pea-sized hail and maybe some winds up near 30 miles per hour. And then Topeka area, we are dry right now, but some storms over the southeastern parts of Wabaunsee County are pushing to the northeast, so we could begin to see some showers and storms, at least in parts of Shawnee County, over the course of the next hour. And scattered chances for storms will continue overnight. Of the details on if storms will continue into tomorrow as well, that's in your full forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Peyton. A person is in the hospital after his motorcycle collided with a school bus. Kansas Highway Patrol responded to the crash around 6:30 this evening. When troopers arrived, they found the driver of the motorcycle suffered injuries in the crash. He was flown to the hospital by helicopter. KHP says there were children on the bus, but no one else was injured. This is a developing story, and we will keep you updated with the latest information on WIBW.com. Protests continued for a second day after a police officer was acquitted of killing a black man in St. Louis. Mola Lingi has more from Washington.
Hundreds returned to the streets of St. Louis for a second night of protests Saturday. Earlier in the day, a large group took over an upscale suburban mall, forcing stores to briefly close their doors.
White silence is violence.
The peaceful demonstration comes one day after a judge cleared Jason Stockley, a white police officer, in the 2011 death of 24-year-old Anthony Lamar Smith. Prosecutors argued that Stockley planted a gun inside Smith's car after shooting him 5 times. But the judge said there was no proof. People were enraged and flooded the streets after the decision was announced Friday. Protests quickly escalated into violent confrontations with police. The mayor's home was covered in red paint and windows were broken.
The unruly crowd became a mob. This mob was intent on destroying or damaging property, assaulting police officers, and setting fires.
Saturday afternoon, Governor Eric Greitens asked people to remain calm.
Violence and vandalism is not protest, it is a crime.
Police arrested at least 33 people. Stockley has since left the force and now lives in Texas.
It feels like a burden is lifted, but the burden of having to kill someone never really lifts.
And the wounds are still raw for so many people who are demanding justice. Mola Lingi, CBS News, Washington.
Nearly a dozen members of law enforcement were injured. Activists say more protests are planned. Meanwhile, in Richmond, Virginia, several rallies were held today to protest the removal of Confederate monuments. Nikki Batiste has that story from New York.
Racists go home.
Counter-demonstrators outnumbered members of the new Confederate States of America at a Heritage Not Hate rally in Richmond. The group is demanding Virginia state officials keep a statue honoring General Robert E. Lee.
Once a veteran, always a veteran, no matter what war they fought.
We are all under God. We need to defend all American history.
Others say the statue is a painful reminder of the past, and it's time for it to come down.
It's history, but it's awful history to me. That history reminds me and keep reminding everybody of how they wanted to keep us enslaved.
Virginia is an open carry state, and some protesters came armed, but the demonstration was mainly peaceful. Heavily armed police used barricades to keep the crowds from getting too close to the statue.
Whoop whoop, Juggalos taking over D.C.
There were also dueling demonstrations in Washington, D.C. Members of the Juggalos took over one end of the National Mall. They are fans of the rock group Insane Clown Posse. At the other end, several hundred pro-Trump supporters gathered for what was billed as the mother of all rallies.
Just the way to come, support America, support our leader. You need to support and have faith in your leadership.
There was a large police presence, but there were no reports of violence. Nikki Batiste for CBS News, New York.
A jury was deadlocked in a Topeka man's 2016 murder trial. On Friday, a mistrial was declared in the trial of D'Angelo Martinez. He's accused in the April 2016 shooting death of Brian Miller. The judge set a September 21st court date to consider possible further action. The second suspect, Christopher Patillo Jr., was sentenced in July to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. Miller was shot and killed on April 8, 2016 in the 2000 block of Southeast Echo Ridge Circle. He later died at an area hospital. The Riley County Police Department will be out conducting checkpoints tonight for drunk drivers. RCPD announced they will conduct a DUI checkpoint in Manhattan at an area that is known to have a high volume of DUI traffic. The checkpoint is set to run from sometime tonight till early Sunday morning. They say the purpose of this checkpoint is to detect and stop impaired driving. Angry crowds in Tonganoxie filled a city park Friday evening to express their opposition to a Tyson meatpacking plant. Hundreds of them packed Chieftain Park to tell 3 local legislators they don't want the chicken processing factory, even though 1,600 more jobs would come along with the Tonganoxie deal. Representatives Willie Dove, Jim Carlescent, along with Senator Tom Holland said they have to remain neutral now, but they will do whatever locals want.
You individuals are the boss. I'll say it again. You are the boss. You are in control of what goes on, not some corporate structure.
But we know that they're moving forward to make this happen while we're all kind of wanting to get more information. We got to get information yesterday.
I'm going to try to get answers for you. And then when I get a sense of where we're going to be at with this, when we see the responses from Tyson and the state and others, I will come down foursquare in our position for this.
Our town already has a great plan for economic development, including our pre-established industrial park. We didn't ask for this. We have a plan of our own.
The legislators told the audience they also just found out about Tyson's plans right after Labor Day. Tyson's announcement to bring the $320 million facility to Northeast Kansas was heralded by state leaders, including Governor Brownback last week. The International Association of Firefighters' main charity is the Muscular Dystrophy Association. 13 Swan Ciceros shows us how in Junction City, their fire department is revving their engines to raise money.
The Junction City Fire Department hosted their 3rd annual MDA block party, but this year there were a few changes. The first annual car show is replacing what used to be a barbecue competition.
Honestly, we were going to be happy with 25 probably. Our committee got together about 8 months ago and decided to add the car show, and it's gone really well so far.
The block party is an effort to raise money for muscular dystrophy and to get the community involved. Even with some rain showers, it did not stop over 60 cars from making an appearance at the show.
We've just got some fabulous people in the community that wanted to do some good things for people. One of the big things the firefighters do every year, and this is across the nation, but firefighters help raise money for the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Last year, JCFD raised over $24,000. 100% of the proceeds are being donated to the MDA. In Junction City, Juan Cisneros, 13 News.
That was our new reporter. The block party is held in Junction City every September. A group of veterans gathered outside Topeka's Harley-Davidson store to make sure Americans remember the sacrifice prisoners of war and those missing in action made. The group of men were all part of the Legacy Vets Motorcycle Club, which held a similar event in Lawrence Friday night. One of the veterans said his hope is to make sure Americans never forget the sacrifice our military men and women have made for their country. September is Hispanic Heritage Month, and Visit Topeka is kicking it off by hosting their annual Kansas Mariachi Festival today. The big downtown fiesta started this afternoon around 4 p.m. and then was followed by a mariachi concert at 6. There was plenty of food trucks on hand, while you could also check out a car show hosted by Top City Customs. The festival celebrates the influence of Mexican and other Hispanic cultures in Topeka.
It's violins and a lot of string instruments. It's one of the oldest musics that we have, and so it's men and women that perform, and it's just a great, lovely type of music that you can hear. So this is just a great way to, kind of develop a little bit more of our talent in the city and bringing in other groups from across the country to participate in our mariachi festival.
This festival is also held to commemorate the day Mexico declared its independence from Spain. If you love your TV shows, our next segment is for you. We've got all the deets on the biggest night in television, the 2017 Emmys, including expected big winners when we return. Plus, later in the show, folks lit up the night as a way to shed some light on the darkness of cancer. Stick around.
You're watching 13 News at 10 with Erica Hall. 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Man, these shakes are incredible.
To you, William.
What?
William Shakespeare, the inventor of the shake.
There it is. That's why you're wearing that.
No, it's my only clean clothes.
Get dollar floats and $2 shakes and ice cream slushes after 8 p.m. This is how you Sonic.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? You make it for those who don't always look out for themselves. You make it detect what they don't. Stop. You make it for 3 rows of precious cargo. Going further for whatever life throws at you. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand.
Get 0 for 72 plus 1,000 cash back on select SUVs, and current Ford owners can get an extra 1,000 owner loyalty cash on Escape.
Choices, choices, choices. Nobody ever said, I want less choices. At Casey's, we give you more awesomely delicious fresh-made sandwich choices than anyone. Wrap your hands around these mouth-watering sandwiches and bite into our always tasty and always fresh ingredients, and we think you'll agree. Choose wisely, my friend. Choose Casey's Fresh. Casey's, famous for pizza and a whole lot more.
Sonic's got some bold new wing flavors.
Eating these wings without a fork? Now that's bold. Uh-oh. Don't worry. It's a wing. It'll fly back. Return to me!
Boneless wings are now buy one, get one free, Thursdays, 5 p.m. to close. This is how you Sonic.
This is your 13 weather forecast.
Thanks for staying with us here on this Saturday evening. The radar is increasing with activity right now. Thunderstorms continue to blossom up here across northeast Kansas. Here's Capitol Federal Live Storm Tracker right now. You can see the strongest storms that we have are across the southeastern parts of Wabaunsee County, and they are pushing to the north and east. Could be moving into at least parts of Shawnee County here within about the next 30 minutes. So don't be surprised if you hear an increase of some thunder outside as we move on through the next hour or so. More storms developing just now north of Lawrence. All of this pushing to the northeast. And here's the thunderstorms right now there near Eskridge pushing to the northeast, so beginning to work their way up I-335 into the southwestern parts of Shawnee County. Some of these storms might produce some nickel-sized hail at the largest, but organized severe storms are not expected as we continue on through the evening hours. We did earlier have the possibility for some nickel-sized hail just east of Council Grove, but that storm is continuing to push into the northwestern parts of Lyon County now, and that potential there again, maybe for some penny to nickel-sized hail, does continue, along with maybe some 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Farther to the west right now, we have some more thunderstorms developing behind a cold front. These are to the north of Salina, also near Abilene, then farther to the north up near Clay Center. Take a little bit closer look at some of this activity too near Concordia. Thunder, lightning, some locally heavy rainfall, and maybe some small pea-sized hail with these thunderstorms. But again, we're not expecting much in the way of severe weather as we continue on through the remainder of the overnight hours. And if you were lucky to get some rain today, it really wasn't a whole lot. Most of the rainfall amounts today, just a few hundredths of an inch. But with the new thunderstorms that are developing, some areas have managed to pick up near 1/10 of an inch of rain. If you stay dry today, more storm chances tonight and tomorrow as well. There's going to be plenty of rain to go around as we move on through the next 48 hours. And here's a look at Supercast for the overnight hours. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will be continuing. By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to start out with cloudy skies, a continued chance for some isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms. And that chance is going to stick with us throughout the entire day tomorrow with lots of clouds, daytime highs only in the middle 70s. And because our temperatures will be cooler for tomorrow, we're not expecting much in the way of any severe threat, just mainly some locally heavy rainfall with any thunderstorms that do develop, and it's going to be an off and on chance throughout the day on Sunday. And even if you happen to miss out on some rain tomorrow, even better chances arriving by the time we hit Sunday night. A warm front going to be lifting to the north. This will provide the lift that we need for some more rain across the area. Much of the area could be dealing with at least some moderate, if not locally heavy rainfall. Some localized flooding will be possible with some rain Sunday night, and that chance will continue into Monday as well. So again, plenty